Okay, so this is part 3. I will continue after my story of my life, my very sacred, divine, fully extreme life, where now I am at a place of really observing my patterns and my experiences to share embodied wisdom as I continually release and take off the layers, the overlay of the disinformation, the duality and the separation of our human and our eternal soul. All of this is what I'm most interested in, and so this is what I'm doing here, is sharing to assist. So one of my teachers said, why would you do that? Well, and this is what I keep bringing up when I say, who do you think you are? You know, all this. Well, I am that I am. I am an eternal soul. I am remembering that this is what I am, and I am reclaiming that and my sovereignty to be able to know myself, know thyself on a soul level, and remember that I can do a lot more than I was ever taught in these old systems that are now kind of obviously not making sense anymore as we've entered the Aquarian age, the new cosmic cycle, all of this. And this is the stuff that I love to share and teach for those that are interested in that. And for those who are not, that's wonderful too, because we're all, parts of the whole, and we need to follow our own intuitive guidance as to what will serve us in this part of our evolution. And so that's what we're doing here. We're evolving ourselves, and as we do that, we are naturally evolving the rest of humanity. So it doesn't take the majority comes later, when enough people have finally gotten the information stream, because that's what we're doing, we're informing. And so my teacher had said, well, if you had all of this amazing, healthy soup that you made that is very nourishing and could really help people, regenerate people, and give them vitamins and nutrients and things that they're lacking, and they're starving, and here there's a lot of people that are starving for this kind of wisdom, well, then what would you do? Of course you would serve the people some soup, right? This is what Jesus would do too. These are the teachings. So for me, instead of thinking I'm not above or superior to anybody else, that's never what true teaching is about. It's about empowering you to be your own guide and your own best friend, and to love yourself and to fill your own cup. Because if you don't do that, you're going to deplete yourself. You're going to, and that's why through my own experiences, I can share what it's like, and to be focused on what it is that you came here to do and to bring to the world. And I came to bring some wisdom soup through my own harsh experiences, but what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, and that's what I'm here to teach and share and co-create with others as well. This is something I love to do. That'll be in another video, but for now, this is what I have to share, is my wisdom soup, and if you're feeling that that's something that resonates with you. And if not, thank you. If you're still here, still listening, wonderful. We can continue the journey together. I am not for everyone. I don't like surface level. I don't like, I like to go into the depths of myself, and I kind of enjoy being with other people who do that as well. And yeah, sharing wisdom and co-creation is wonderful. So yes, I was married. We moved to France when I had my 2 young daughters. They were only 1.5 years and 3 years old, and we packed up everything, sold everything, and moved to France. I helped him start a business there, which was only 15 minutes from our home. We used to motorcycle there. It was a lot of fun. It was a great idea, a download I had to create a branch of the Canadian company over there. And yeah, it all worked out. It was a fun time. We were we were good partners, we were good parents, we had a nice life, but there was still something inside of me that was missing. And later I came to realize it's the spiritual practice and the meditations and the connection to source, kind of like when you plug your phone in. If you don't plug in to your own source, something's missing. And then for someone like me, I'm a Pisces, Aquarius cusp, you can reach out for substances or things to kind of fill this void that you're not aware that you have, which is a spiritual void. It's the connection to your soul, to God's self, to God's source. So I didn't have that. I didn't have that knowledge. I didn't have any of that. So I drank a lot of alcohol. You can imagine in France, I drank a lot of wine and I would pass out very often and puke and all this stuff, you know. It just seemed normal too. People thought it was funny, you know, but it's actually quite sad. I come from alcoholic background, grandparents, and all of that. So big, you know, it's a toxic trait to have, to fill your void or to try to numb some kind of pain that's there that you can't name. And so bringing awareness to those pains and to those things, that's what the shadow work that Carl Jung and, you know, the gene keys, the shadow aspects of self are all about. And so, you know, I was a young mother. I was on the adventure of living in Europe and enjoying all of that. And of course, the material realm is very seductive, you know. It's it brings us all of these wow, you know, like factors. And I was, of course, discovering Paris and art museums and smoking and drinking and parties, and you know, I did that a lot out there. And we had, you know, we had financial abundance, and it was, you know, as a human, it was great. I could look back. Of course, I look back with rose-colored glasses because that's often the way I see things, more positive. There's a mixed bag of everything, right? Good, bad, you know, whatever. A lot of experience there. But so those were my years in Paris, and I was a full-time mom, and I didn't have a network. I didn't have family. I didn't really have friends, and so I was, again, a bit isolated, but this is where I would write and journal and make art and be a devoted mom and wife. I was really into cooking and baking and gardening and homesteading, you know, and I was happy doing that because I thought this is more rewarding than going out there and having other people raise my kids. They're being with their mother, which I thought was very important. And my husband gets, you know, my attention and all of that, which is really traditional, very traditional. But, you know, it does work on a certain level. It doesn't work, I would say, because it's too isolating and each one living in their own box individually is not like the village. I do believe in the village and the idea that we need each other and we need to collaborate and we need to share our resources and things like that to a certain extent, as much as, you know, we can, with a nice balance, you know, of individual and collective. So again, it's not about one or the other for me anymore. It's really trying to find the beautiful merge of the duality into a polarity, which is alchemy. And so yeah, that's another part of the story.